everybody to another episode of the Pierce Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Jake.
Today we're doing another redneck experiment, and we're going to do a little comparison on the 4570 versus
a 58 caliber muzzleloader. So I'm using my Pedersoli Mississippi rifle.
I'm using my Marlin 1895. This is one of the new Ruger made models. We got a bunch of different stuff we're going to shoot. We got watermelons, buckets of water, and cinder blocks. We're going to line the cinder blocks up at the end and see how many we can penetrate through with each. And should be kind of fun. So let's rock and roll. All right guys, for the 4570 Marlin, we're going to be using a 430 grain hard cast flat nose bullet from Underwood, and we'll use that same bullet throughout. Jake's got two different bullets he's going to use for his Pedersoli. So first up, watermelon versus 4570. All right, well, watermelon disintegrated, bucket blew up on the bottom, so we use a cinder block now as the base, so we don't blow the table up too bad until we get to the cinder block test.
Okay guys, so the first load we're going to shoot is a patched round ball. It's a 279 grain swaged round ball. I'm shooting 90 grains of 3F black powder, so that'll be pushing that 270 grain bullet around 1450, maybe 15, somewhere in that ballpark. So well,
there goes one cinder block.
Yeah, there goes one. Okay, so the patch round ball worked really well. Now we've got 60 grains of 3F with a 520 grain mini bullet. So we'll try that. I don't know, they're both fairly effective, it looks like, huh?
Effective against some watermelons.
Yeah, I guess.
All right guys, next versus buckets of water. I forgot to mention that these Underwood 430 grain bullets are advertised at 1925 feet per second, so it probably varies a little bit out of this gun, but let's see how she does. Well, there goes the table too.
Yeah, what are we gonna do now?
I don't know, I think that well, we'll figure out another table option now and we can continue the test.
How about the bed of your truck?
Yeah. All right guys, table's dead, which is fine, but you can see entry wound on the bucket here, exited on the backside here, kind of lower than the entry wound, but blew up the bucket with water pretty easily and then deflected into the table, and adios to the table. So now Jake will just have to kneel and shoot his buckets, and we'll do the same for the cinder blocks.
Okay guys, so first up, the patch round ball, 90 grains of black powder. Worked pretty good.
Yeah, that water went straight up in the air.
It did.
That was cool.
That was cool.
All right, so as you can see here, we got entry, split the bucket, and then exited down here, cracked on that backside as well. But that was kind of neat how the water shot straight up in the air.
Okay guys, next up is 60 grains with the 520 grain mini bullet. Didn't not as nice of results.
Yeah, the water didn't go as high.
Yeah,
but it still went cool, which is
yeah.
neat.
Well, and honestly, these first couple tests, I don't really expect to see any type of difference. I'm really interested with the cinder blocks to see what...
Cinder blocks are next. We'll see total penetration.
Yeah, and just to see what it does, you know?
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys, so cinder blocks. We've got 3 of them end to end. That way it's an equal portion of concrete, because if you're shooting them standing up, you might hit the center, you might hit up or above, but we wanted to make it as equal as possible. And then we've got 1 standing on the end of the back, but we put them on the remnants of the table to make them as flat as we could to hopefully get an even shot through. Of course, that bullet may deflect when it hits that first wall or two. It just depends, you know, but this is a good penetration test. So we'll see how far through each of these bullets will make it. I'm gonna have to kind of get down at a weird angle here. Would have been much easier if the table had lived. All right, ready? So we blew through the first one. You can see an impact right there. That's what's left of the base of the bullet. Can we find the bullet though? Looks like it deflected that way.
I expected it to do better.
Yeah, same. We'll see if we can find the bullet.
Okay, we did not find Joe's bullet, so we're gonna try out the 58 caliber muzzleloader. This is the 90 grain 3F powder with the patch round ball.
Made it through 1 layer.
Yeah, it's about what I would expect.
Yeah.
These are not.
There it is.
These are not a hard cast bullet, just soft lead. So that's about what I was expecting. They'd mushroom out and just kind of deform. So, okay, now we got our 60 grains black powder with the 520 grain mini bullet. We'll see if we can't get the Yankee behind the brick wall. So. About the same.
Yeah.
There's the remnants.
Blew up pretty good.
Just mushroomed out kind of like the round ball did. So,
yeah.
Well, and that's one thing that made the mini bullet such a devastating bullet during the American Civil War, and what made the wounds so horrific was that soft lead. It mushrooms out, and when it hits bone, it just shatters stuff, rips holes through bodies that are extremely difficult to mend. So lots of amputations, just devastating wounds during the American Civil War. So not very good on penetration, but
in concrete,
you know, against harder targets. But yeah, that's pretty devastating still. So the bullet, it fragmented too. So you can imagine what that'd do to a human bone. Mushrooms out, just creates devastating wounds, fragments all over the place. So yeah, not fun.
Well, that's a wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's kind of fun seeing some watermelons and buckets blow up. Concrete, the 4570 made it through an extra 2 layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, the mini bullet and the patch round ball basically went through 1 layer, stopped on the second.
and
4570 went through the middle and the end.
Deflected by that point, because we couldn't find the bullet. It wasn't smashed in there, and who knows where it went.
Yeah, well, and I think it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We could not find it though, but yeah, kind of a fun little experiment. Let us know in the comments any other cool experiments you guys want to see down the road. Yeah, it's interesting. Jake and I were just talking about when these bullets, the mini bullet and then the 4570, when they kind of came into being, and they're both in the 1800s, pretty dang close to each other.
Yeah, the French designed the mini bullet in the 1840s. Americans modified it. What I was shooting was the modified Burton style mini bullet, which was an American modification, made it simpler and easier to mass produce. And that bullet was adopted in 1855, and 4570 was in 1873. So, yeah, 20 years
apart, basically.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that 4570 is still a very prominent cartridge today, and in the black powder side of things, the mini bullet's like as advanced as it gets, really, as far as cool bullets go.
Yeah. So,
but yep. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on the Pierce Brothers. Unless there's anything else you got to say.
No,
all right.
I don't think so.
Yep. See you guys.